Our agency has worked a number of car thefts involving Hyundai vehicles from the 2011 to 2021 models. They have been more susceptible to auto theft than others. And we are working on an event hand in hand with Hyundai to update the software in those vehicles to make it harder for people to steal them. And so I'd like to start this conversation with a victim who is going to share her story of having her Hyundai stolen. We'll go from there to our captain over our East Command, who is over our auto theft unit. He'll talk to you a little bit about the trends we're seeing, how we investigate these cases, and why we're doing this event. And then we have the vice president of Hyundai who's going to speak to us about the process, how long it takes for the software to be installed, and the value of doing it. So I'd like to start it now. Where did she go? There you are, come on. When you start, your names. Okay, you ready? Yeah. Okay, come on, let's hear.
Hello, my name is Trina Rivero. It's Trina and then Rivero. I just recently had my 2016 Hyundai Sonata taken from me. And it basically has shattered a lot of stuff, like changed everything where transportation to work, my kids' games, because they're in soccer, all their school stuff was in there, only for it to be taken so easily with the USB and dumped 9 miles away from where it was taken from. Having to deal with insurance and trying to just figure everything out is very frustrating and difficult. I just wish the community was more aware about this situation. I wish I was more aware about Sonata and their whole theft issues. I had no idea about this. So I could have prevented it or gone and got the software. But, yeah. It was stolen right outside of my friend's house, my boyfriend's house. Got off work at 1 a.m. It was a nice neighborhood. Parked on the right up in front of his house, and between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. it was gone. So, and that was it.
When did you find out about this new software? How long has that software been available?
When it got stolen. When I got stolen, and the insurance people were like, oh, Kia and Sonata, they're like up there on getting stolen very easily. Do you have the software? I was like, what software are we talking about? So
the people who do this probably don't care, but to you, this impacts you
right.
Right. How it made you feel when I assume you walked out and it's gone.
I just thought of my kids' school supplies, and like I have 3 little ones, and I just got done getting all their school supplies, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like just how it impacts them for transportation wise to anything, trying to figure it out in the meantime. Not just work for me, but I mean, like I said, there are recreational sports and everything like that, doctor's appointments, it's everything.
You said it was found, it was dumped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just on an abandoned road, and it apparently got towed, and that's how I found out with the Travis County software that it got towed. So that's it. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
All right, this is Captain Scott Crow.
Good morning, everybody. Scott Crow. It's SCOTT Crow, CROWE. I'm the captain of the East Command, which includes our Auto Theft Task Force. Welcome, everybody, this morning. To follow up with our victim, so far this year, from January 1st till just last week, we ran statistics specifically for the Hyundai vehicle, and we've seen 50 stolen over the course of the year. And that trend goes from month to month, where it can be just a few, or the maximum that I saw, I believe, was March, and we saw 11 stolen that particular month. Kind of the way we investigate these cases is once it's reported to us by the victim, it's assigned to one of our auto theft detectives, and that detective will then work with obviously the victim, but also work with the neighborhood, especially if it's in a larger neighborhood. And we look for video, try to piece together other vehicles, because normally this crime occurs with multi-vehicles. Stolen vehicle being brought in, and a trail vehicle with him. And we can try to hopefully identify the trail vehicle, which is usually not the stolen car, to get back to the suspects. The other thing we do is we wait for a recovery. If we have no leads whatsoever, we'll wait for a recovery, and then we'll have to backfill from there and try to find out who actually stole the vehicle.
And I heard, sorry, Captain, can you kind of explain the challenge of jurisdictional boundaries and how auto theft works?
So we do have transient criminals in this area. They travel up and down the I-35 corridor, plus they'll also travel along 290 and Highway 71. From there, we might have criminals coming in from Williamson County. Once again, they'll come in and then they'll start stealing vehicles within Travis and Austin. And then they will just spread out from there and try to hit as many neighborhoods as they can. The goal is one or two things: vehicle burglaries or vehicle thefts. And if they're specifically targeting the Hyundai vehicle, then that's what they're looking for. And they might not commit any vehicle burglaries. But once they find their target vehicle, like our victims, then they will go to work and steal that car that night.
Any tips for car owners? Can they do anything?
We always say everything out of sight, out of mind. Always lock your vehicle. Don't leave anything of value, even if it's not visible in your vehicle. Leave it in your home. And the biggest piece is the door checkers, whether they're trying to steal a vehicle or actually just look for items in a car. They're looking for the easiest possible thing, and that is to check a door. If the door opens up, then they're going to be in the car, and hopefully not successful getting anything. But apparently, we always ask that, but we also have those naysayers that will say, I want to leave my vehicle unlocked because I don't want them to break a window. Normally in these type of thefts, whether it's a vehicle or once again a BOV, they're not looking to break a window because it causes noise, causes distraction, and it might have somebody come outside and interact with them, and they're not looking for that.
In her case, were you able to figure out who stole?
I do not, unfortunately. I don't have that information, but we certainly can find that out.
I did a story with Kyle PD, kind of about who these people are that are doing this. Can you kind of explain the stolen car market and how y'all investigate maybe even other crimes involved in this crime?
So it's kind of twofold. So you have the crime, kind of how as I was describing earlier, where the vehicle is the mode of transit to get from neighborhood to neighborhoods, and it's stolen. It's just used for that night, dump that night, or dump that next day if they decide to keep it for a day or two. The other one is more if it's a higher dollar vehicle, but we're talking about Hyundai today, so I don't want to get into that. But for the Hyundai type vehicle, that is that quick steal. Sorry, sir. The quick steal. They can get in there, get that vehicle going, and then it becomes their mode of transportation that they're not afraid to lose, where they are afraid to lose their personal or friend's trail vehicle.
And it's harder to figure out who it is if they're committing other crimes just for that car.
Depends on how long they have the car. I don't want to get into details because then we're giving away investigative techniques that we don't want the criminals to know. But there are things that we can do that are criminal investigations that can do when they have that vehicle, if they've had it, especially for a little more than a day.
Thank you, Captain.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dave Vandelin. Dave, traditional spelling, Vandelin, V-A-N-D-E, capital L-I-N-D-E. First of all, I want to send my condolences to the Vasquez Lopez family and also to the sheriff for their losses. Also want to thank Captain Crow, supervisor of Travis County's Auto Theft Unit, and all of the Travis County Sheriff's Department for supporting our customers this weekend on Saturday to protect against the type of theft that we've been discussing. This is our third visit to the Austin Metro and our 8th visit to Texas. This will be our 32nd clinic like this that we've held in only 1 year's time. We're excited today to be back in Travis County, supporting the neighborhood communities and law enforcement professionals with this important anti-theft upgrade for 2011 through 2021 Hyundai vehicles, where you insert a key and turn it to start the vehicles. We can talk later about the differences between push button and turnkey start. The Travis County Sheriff's Office effort to bring resources like Hyundai and my team to your community highlights the dedication of law enforcement in this city and this county. We all want to thank the leaders and all the elected officials as well, too. So in the summer of 2021, as most of you know, Hyundai experienced a dramatic increase in theft of our customers' vehicles that were driven and still continue to be driven by a social media challenge. So we set out to work first on a basic alarm solution. We knew that we needed a software upgrade, but software upgrades take a lot of time. We're talking about a lot of vehicles. There's over 27 different fitments of that software package. And I like to explain to people is it's not like taking one Lego and sticking it on a big Lego structure. When you rewrite the software for a vehicle, you have to change all the Legos because it integrates with all the systems of the vehicle. So a basic alarm system out to all the dealers, 840 across the country. And then what brings us here today at these clinics is we started a steering wheel lock distribution program to be able to bridge that time for software development. So now to this day, we're over 300,000 steering wheel locks and over 1,000 PDs that we communicate across the country with on a regular basis. And a lieutenant in Washington, D.C. challenged us to think differently when the software launched in February of 2023. We were kind of fresh out of COVID at that time. We all understood the power of a white tent in a parking lot, whether it was COVID testing or food distribution, and she challenged us to think of something that we could do along those lines. So almost 1 year ago today, we had a clinic in Washington, D.C. at the old abandoned RFK football stadium where we started this, and here we are now 32 clinics later. Recently, the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, just last week, published a detailed report on the effectiveness of this software upgrade. We have a copy of this report on our comprehensive website, it's HyundaiAntiTheft.com. But in their report, I just want to quote them. They said, the company's solution is extremely effective, and if you own a Hyundai or Kia vehicle without an electronic immobilizer, you should call your local dealer about getting the software upgrade today. We appreciate that kind of third-party validation for what we know does work. In Travis County this weekend at the Community Center, we'll be there Saturday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., one big day, rain or shine. Heat does not bother us. We've been through a lot of Texas heat. We're okay with all of that. Pouring down rain, we will be there 7 to 7 to be able to service these customers. There is no cost for this whatsoever. There is no appointment necessary whatsoever. Everyone that shows up with a Hyundai vehicle, whether you're a turnkey or a push-button start, everyone gets a complimentary steering wheel lock. As a matter of fact, we don't even need ID. All we need is the serial number of the vehicle, and it's about a 20 or 30-minute process. We'll have a team of technicians and service advisors there. We have Spanish-speaking associates. We make sure that everyone is comfortable. We'll have a lounge with snacks and cold drinks, and we'll have access to the community center to keep people cool while we're working on their vehicles outside. So we're really excited about this opportunity to come back to the Austin metro market. We started in El Paso early this year. We've been to Houston, to Greenspoint Mall. We've been to San Antonio ISD. We've done Carrollton. We've done Grand Prairie. And now we're back again in Austin. So we continue to focus all of our efforts. This continues every week. After this event is over, going to New Jersey, then Orlando, then Milwaukee, then Palm Springs. On Monday this week, we met with Lubbock, so Lubbock is on the calendar now for in October. So for us, while we appreciate the report that came from IIHS, for us, this work isn't done until these thefts stop. Thank you.
If I live in a different part of the state of Texas, will those clinics come back at some point?
You know, we've got Lubbock right now on the calendar. We're going to be in Lubbock in October. But the key point for all of the customers is that we've got 835 plus dealers across the country that are doing 1,000 of these software upgrades or more every day. So make an appointment with your local dealer. If you want to check to see where we're at, you can go on that Hyundai anti-theft website. That's not just an internal website, that's for customers as well too. They can put in the serial number of their vehicle. It tells them whether they need the software or not. And if they're a registered owner in a market that we're in, it will show them the clinic location. But for right now, we're going to be in Pflugerville this weekend, and we know for sure we're going to be in Lubbock in October. Yeah, so everything's big in Texas, right? So I live in Southeast Kansas, so I consider myself a neighbor. I know there's Oklahoma in between, but Texas delivers huge numbers. We have seen 800 a day in Texas and Las Vegas. Those have been our two biggest locations. Houston, the biggest Texas city so far. So we're going to be set up to receive huge numbers. We don't stop. We don't quit. If there's still people in line, we'll just keep going until they're all done. But we set up kind of and I invite all of you to come out and see the process as well too. It's very different than a kind of a dealer shop. They're set up for one technician working on one car at a time. We're more of an assembly line operation. So we can have one technician that's working on several vehicles at different stages of software update. We also have, and I can show you outside, a mechanical solution. So there's 3.7 million Hyundai vehicles. We'll be 70% complete by the end of this year against that 3.7 million. But there's about 680,000 that essentially the software on the vehicle, the memory system's too full to accept that software update. So we have a really ingenious mechanical device. It's a sleeve that we mechanically and permanently bond to the ignition cylinder of these vehicles to prevent them from being stolen. Because if you've ever seen the TikTok videos, the kids on the videos split the ignition cylinder to access a tab that they can turn with pliers or a USB female plug. So we lock that cylinder down to prevent that type of theft at all.
20 or 30 minutes, you said it takes?
It does. Depending, we would say that the asterisk there is depending on the line, but the customers will only be out of the car for about 20 minutes. And again, we'll have an air-conditioned and a lounge with refreshments and restrooms and things like that, so they can wait comfortably. So definitely a great investment. We tell everybody, no cost, no appointment, no ID, complimentary steering wheel lock, friends, family members, coworkers. If you have a 2011 through 2021 Hyundai vehicle where you insert a key blade and turn it to start the vehicle, come see us at the Travis County Community Center in Pflugerville, or go on the website, HyundaiAntitheft.com, put your serial number in to see if you need to come see us. If you're a push button and you want a complimentary steering wheel lock, or you want the anti-theft stickers that go on the front doors that show a thief that you have anti-theft technology, we're happy to see you and have you just come by for that as well too.
Thank you. All right, so you probably saw it on your way in, but there's a vehicle parked underneath the porch of the front of our building, so you'll be able to catch B-roll of how this works from the Hyundai representatives on your way out. Thank you for being here. That wraps it up.